So the biggest complaint I get about HTV Ron's new AutoPress is that you can't adjust the pressure. So if you need more pressure, what do? Hi y'all, welcome to Daily Dose of DIY. My name is Chris and I have had HTV Ron's AutoPress for 2 or 3 months now. I've pressed over 500 bags, shirts, you name it, I've pressed it. And I'm back now to give you a follow-up on their new AutoPress. The biggest question I get is how do you adjust the pressure, which comes with the complaint of you can't adjust the pressure. But I have a trick for you that you can use to press all those high pressure things like Caesar Easy Weed Stretch, the puff of vinyl, and even direct to garment transfers like the one I'm wearing now. I got this transfer off of Etsy from the White Invite. I will direct link you down to them below because isn't it gorgeous? I'm going to do my demonstration using another one of their transfers too that I love. So let's get right on in to the update on this heat press, and then I will show you the trick to get more pressure. Now, the biggest thing I love about the AutoPress is it slides in and out. My friend Trisha got one and she said if you press a lot of shirts, I'm sure you all know your arm and your shoulders kill you. And she said this just saves her arm so much. She makes great Christian tees. I will link you to her Facebook page, Butterfly Inc. 3125 down below. Check out the shirts she makes. This press is great for saving your arm and shoulder and getting fatigue. So you can see here, I have a piece of felt over the mat. The mat, as I mentioned, I did over 500 presses. It didn't take very long to get this burnt look with so much use. And I saw this hack on TikTok. If you do sublimation or even any kind of pressing, you can use wool felt to just lay over here and protect your mat. The sublimation is not going to stick to it. You want to make sure you get wool though. That synthetic cheap stuff will probably melt and you don't want that. Somebody pointed out in my other video that I go from the side, which I do. I guess if you put the shirts in from the front, you would go this way. It's just more convenient for me to go to the side. If I have any complaints, as you can see as I'm placing the shirt, is you don't have very much room here to get your shirt through, whether you're putting the collar through or you're putting the sleeve through. Having the sleeve on here though it doesn't get hurt in here and it doesn't take away your ability to slide in and out. That function will still work. Also, I have not gotten burned. Now, I can feel this. Yes, it's hot, and I don't want to keep my hands there for a long time, but it is well insulated, and I have not burnt myself putting a shirt on or taking one off yet. My next favorite function is the automatic. If you hit the A button here, it turns on the automatic, which means when you slide it in and click the base into place, it will automatically go down and press. So you don't have to tell it to start every time. Now this is a feature some of my friends didn't like, but you can turn it on and off based on what you want to do. If you don't want it on automatic, you would just hit the R button to make it start. And then it's finished, it raises back up and you can pull it, slide it straight out. Again, I'm saving my arm and shoulder a lot of pain. Another thing I like about this heat press is the size. I have a 6-foot crafting table. It will fit on the end and then my Cricut and then I have a craft space and then my computer. So everything I need is on one table and it fits nicely. I think that's probably why I do it from the side because I keep it at the end. Another thing I like is it only weighs 38 pounds. So I can move this myself if I need to. Now lugging it out to the car to bring to my office, I did have my husband do. I don't want to carry it far distances, but if I need to slide it down somewhere else on the table or move it to a different table, that is easy enough for me to do. What I don't like about moving it is there's not really a good place to grip it. So if I pull on this top here, 38 pounds does feel like a lot of weight to hold it from the top. When I move it, my instinct is to grab from this heat plate. And of course, if it's hot, you will burn your fingers off wrapping them around there. So I do not recommend moving your machine after you have just used it. Keep it there and let it cool down a good long time before you attempt to move it, because your instinct will probably be to grab from this plate to lift it and you'll get hurt. Okay, on to the things, like I have some puff vinyl here, and this is just my test shirt. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on. It's a test shirt, so it's not something I'm going to wear. You see, I'm real original. It says hello. I'm going to throw my parchment paper over top. It's not sticking down very well. And this should press at 320 degrees for 15 seconds. So we will go ahead and give it a press and see how that works. And then next I will show you how to do one of these direct to garment transfers, which definitely needs a lot of pressure also. Okay, so the time is up and we will see how it did. Did it give us enough pressure? And actually, yes, it did for this puff vinyl. It puffed up just as it should, and it is stuck to the shirt well. So actually with puff vinyl, without the hack, you should be good to go. Now let's take a look and see what it does with a direct to film transfer, which definitely needs a whole lot of pressure. I have a new shirt here and I'm going to show you on this direct to garment transfer. So if you're not sure what this is, it's basically a screen print on paper. I know they can do different things too, but whatever direct to garment you get takes a lot of pressure to get on the shirt. So first we are going to press it. Let me get it centered. Should be no surprise to you. I don't know where my heat guide is. I'm going to center it and get it on here. Let me pull my shirt up a little bit. I already preheated it. So we're good to go there. And I'm going to show you what it looks like with the automatic pressure. And then we'll go back and we'll trick this into adding more pressure. So the instructions on this was to preheat for 7 seconds, press for 7 seconds at 370 degrees. So I've done that, and you'll see when we pull it back, it's pulling up. Not sure if the camera is picking that up, but it was definitely not enough pressure to do a direct to garment. HTV RONT has stated the automatic pressure is dependent on the thickness of your materials. So a thin t-shirt is not going to give us as much pressure as a sweatshirt or something thicker. Do you get where I'm going here? Let's do this little trick and see if it works to do a direct to garment transfer. So what I'm going to do is add some thickness to it with my Cricut Easy Press heat mat that I have. And now if you don't have one of these, you can use a towel. My friend Trisha that I told you about, she said she used a sweatshirt. But what we want to do is come under the shirt and just add some thickness. And that will trick our little automatic heat press here into thinking we have a super thick garment that we're pressing and that it needs to add more pressure. Let's put it back on in and see how it does. I don't know if you caught it there and saw the pressure go down a little bit after a few seconds. So it definitely applied more pressure to our transfer. And now we will see if that did the trick to get it to go. The steam is rising. And yes, that worked beautifully. So it all stuck. Isn't that such a cute design? Again, it came from the White Invite on Etsy, and I'll direct link that to you in the description down below. So that is my update on the HTV RONT AutoPress and the little trick we figured out to press materials that need extra pressure. As you can see, it transferred beautifully the second time when we tricked it into giving us more pressure. Let me know down below if you found this tip helpful, if you've got their new AutoPress yet, and if you do, if you have any other questions or anything else you want to know about the HTV RONT AutoPress, just comment below. I'll be sure to answer them, and maybe I'll do a follow-up to the follow-up of the video. Be sure to like and subscribe for more fun crafting tips and tutorials.